Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, this is going to be a bit of a ramble that's out there. It's not that far-fetched because um, it's been in the news lately and stuff like that, and I've mentioned it before, but it ties into a few things. It ties into YouTube a little bit, and algorithms and artificial intelligence and stuff like that. So, grab your popcorn or whatever you need, because this could be a weird one. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, and this is not an original thought. Other people have, thought this and stuff. But uh, artificial intelligence is not smart. What's going to happen is, if you break down, I think I'm not uniquely, but I think I'm attuned into this particular subject because I grew up with computers, learned electronics, built my first computer with just lights, and had to learn binary code to figure out what it was doing, which was just basically a calculator. It was just adding stuff up. It wasn't like solving any problems. But that's the way computers started. And it all comes down to ones and zeros, ons and off. That's all that a computer understands. And what makes it more enhanced is the software. It's the programs that were written to work around that. At first it was like BASIC, and it was a basic programming that said, do this and this and this, and if something happens, then do this, if then. And it just got more and more advanced, more programs and stuff like that. And I was thinking about copyrights in videos, how they do that, how they look for that. And if you think about it, let's say that there was a piece of video, like what I'm doing right here, right now, and they want to make sure who owns that, who created that. So, well, I already know that I created it, but the program has to go through and look at all videos on record. Who could do that? I mean, really, just think about videos, black and white movies, plays, skits, all of them, and look for a match. Now, a human, would sit there and, by a process of elimination, I already say, well, I'm not going to look at black and white because it's in color, so I can eliminate this, and blah, blah, blah. But a computer doesn't know that. I mean, it just goes for bits of information. And so it's just looking at this frame, and it's just interpreting everything in that frame. I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but, it just tries to go through a match of every database that it's got. And no person could do that. Then you add in sound. Well, this is where I think a lot of this screws up, because music is an integral part of society. And if you're walking by and something goes on and some music is playing, there's no copyright involved. It was open in the air, it was publicly broadcast. But all of a sudden, if somebody in Pakistan or Timbuktu somehow got the copyright to that, now if you're a content creator and you walk by and it picks that up, now you can you have to pay, the music rights to that, the owner of that. Like, it's crazy, it's ridiculous. But it's simply because they can't handle it. They can't do what would be required to satisfy all this stuff, so they have to turn it over to artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence, we're not good enough with our own intelligence. What makes us think artificial intelligence is going to be any better? It's kind of like, like a diet soda. Why is this going to be any better? Well, stop it. I don't want to get on diet sodas, but it can be our undoing because we can entrust it with so much power that we depend upon it. Like, oh, we just can't live without it. That's not, artificial intelligence is not going to be some big robot that comes up, and says, "You will obey me," or else, no, it's going to be more insidious than that. It's going to be like there's going to be some oracle. They've got a quantum computer tied to artificial intelligence. Got all the, it's bigger than the internet. It's got everything, all the knowledge tied together. And all you got to do, speak into the big O, and it will answer your questions. And one of them, would say, we're having a lot of problems with people just killing each other and stuff like this. Is there any way around that? And it says, oh yeah, sure, I can eliminate all weapons for you, all wars, all killing, but you have to let me enforce it. And a lot of people, would say, that's what we need. We need peace. We need an end to wars, and we need all this other stuff. But what you've got to give up is certain freedoms, or a chunk of your brain. It's got to implant this thing in your head. I'm thinking like Star Trek and stuff like that, where he was on this one, McCoy was on this one asteroid, and he wanted to marry this girl and everything. He had a terminal illness and all this other stuff, and they said, well, you can join our thing, but you've got to get this implant in your head, and if you started revealing any secrets of this, they didn't want you to know that you were on an asteroid. They wanted them to think they were on a planet, because it was a generational thing to get to the next place. But anyways, that's science fiction, but that's not far-fetched, man. A lot of this stuff is not, Elon wants to plug into the brain and have the brain-computer thing. And man, I thought, what a nightmare, because one of the good things and bad things that we can do as humans is go to sleep, and we can shut down and, rest or whatever. If a computer is powered on, it won't dream. It won't rest. It'll just be on constantly. And that's like closing your eyes but still being able to see. Oh man. That information overload. It's not good. I've worked on electronics. I've worked on with software. I worked on with computers and stuff like that. I built computers from chips and stuff like that, and have been involved in making integrated circuits and stuff. So it's fascinating what we can do, but you don't want to be so dependent upon this stuff that your life depends upon it. I mean, it already does, really. No matter what you do, it already does, because, we're dependent upon sensors in space acting correctly, giving us the right signals, and telling us this is our position. Even like global satellites, GPS and stuff like that. Those could easily be knocked out, and I'm not talking about like enemy. It could be like solar flare, It doesn't happen very often, but if the Earth is pointed in the right or wrong way and a big burst comes through, it's like an EMP. You just fry those things, man. And it's done it here on Earth before. Like I said, I don't want to panic you or anything else and stuff like that, but I think that artificial intelligence, and also I watched a video of my own, and it did 2 mid-roll ads, and one of them was at the mid-roll mark, and it was 3 minutes long. Now, I was talking about something, and if you watched that whole ad, by the time you got back, yeah, you could go get yourself a drink and fix yourself up some noodles, man. Ramen noodles only take like 3 minutes or so to cook up. You could have done all that and come back, and what was he talking about? I don't know. I think if they do that, if they interrupt like that, they should pre-roll the last, I don't know, 5-10 seconds of what you were saying before they cut him, before you were so rudely interrupted. I understand it's part of the, well, you want to get paid, don't you? I don't mind getting paid, but so on some videos I can try and turn off monetization, but I don't know if that's going to do any good. I don't think that you would get as many. Now, I know a lot of people do ad blockers and stuff, and that covers it. And that's what they're trying to push you to, is to go to the premium, you know, pay not to see ads. And oh, I dislike ads so much when I'm watching them and stuff. On TV, I'll mute them. So, anyways, I mean, there's a ways around things and stuff, but still, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about artificial intelligence taking over and stuff because I think I don't think that's what's going to be the cause of humans not being around. Is not. It could be. I mean, it's a potential, but I don't think we're going to get that far. I don't think it's you know. I don't think it's going to be that way. But anyway, I hope for the best. Like I said, I don't have any inside knowledge or anything like that. But I don't see things getting better. I don't see people working together and solving problems, getting things fixed. I see just the opposite. I see corruption and inefficiency, and people that we depend upon, to do things in positions of power, didn't do the they didn't do their job. The job, like a representative government is supposed to represent us, not rip us off and not do their own thing, But I don't want to get into politics. Like I said, I didn't want to get that mixed into here. It was just watching, everything going on, and it's just like I'm tired. I'm tired of the fear being thrown at you. I'm tired of your money not being worth anything. They say, oh, you. I mean, everybody's wages went up such and such. Not if you're retired. Not if you're retired, man. If you're on Social Security, it's whatever the government decides to give you at the end of the year. It's really rigged. It's really rigged. Like 3% or whatever. Man, everything that I bought over the year has been up more than 3%. Everything. But anyway, I don't want this to be a super complaint, but it's like it's the rat in the cage thing. If you wonder why there's a bunch of outbreaks and you wonder why everybody's pissed off and violent and everything, it's because of all this stuff that they can't control is happening at once. And then all these restrictions are were being imposed, especially I'm thinking about like the thing that happened before that we can't speak about. Why can we not speak about things now? Why do we have to speak in code? Wasn't this America? When did we all have to start doing this? Oh, it's because we don't want to offend, we don't want to get banned, and we don't want to get punished. We don't want to get silenced, is what it is. This, even though it's run by a private company, is a platform for speech, But you don't have freedom of speech in here. You have terms of service you better follow. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry, we're not really silencing your speech, we're silencing your behavior because you're not following this behavior. Well, who says this behavior is right? We do. And if you don't like it, you can go. So, yeah, and that's pretty much what it is, You either shut your mouth and toe the party line, or you don't say things. You just avoid certain subjects. And if later on it gets approval, you can talk about it, whew, we can say that, but don't say this. And so I think it's better if you just stick to, like, if you're working with knives, you just stick with knives. And if they find out that it's something about that and you can't call it a knife anymore, then we'll call it, toad sticker, or corn digger, or whatever we come up with, ear gouger. I don't know. I don't have any answers on this one. I was just thinking about it, you know. I thought, man, I could really come up with something, but I don't have any answers on this one. I'm just, you know, gonna watch and see what happens and go along and try to see what happens. But anyway, stay tuned for this month's giveaway, because November is an anniversary for my channel, and I might do something different for the anniversary, but we'll see. It's either 3 or 4 years that I've been on this. So there you go. Sorry for drifting off like that. I thought I had really. I think Peppy stole my ideas again. It's that mask. I do nothing. Yeah, you and that oracle. You've been talking to that oracle there. The big O. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.